Hey guys! Welcome back to another episode of Art Journal Thursday, where we get creative every single Thursday here on this channel. And in today's episode, we are going to paint the Starry Night by Van Gogh, or Van Gogh. I don't know how to pronounce it, so don't hate on me. The first thing we want to do is mixing the base color for the background by mixing some yellow ochre, white and a little bit of black colored acrylic paint to get a grayish type of brown. And now we can apply a thin layer of this color all over the paper or canvas. The reason I want to create this background is that when you look closer at the Starry Night painting, you will see that some of the painting looks through sometimes. So we want to recreate this underpainting color, so later when we paint the actual painting, we have some color to work with to build the painting. While the paint is still slowly drying, we can already start mapping out the painting. I decided to use watercolor paint and a thin brush to create a sketch of the painting. This way we will know exactly where to paint what, and we don't feel lost while painting. It doesn't have to be super perfect, it just needs to give you some idea where to apply the paint. The great thing about using watercolor paint here is that this color appears throughout the whole painting, so we can actually work in the paint without the outlines being visible later. While the first layer of painting is drying, we can go ahead and mix some different colors together that we can use later. I will be mixing some different shades of blue. I wouldn't stress too much if you don't want to copy the painting completely, but you can mix some paint and hold it against a printed out image to see if the shade is mixed accurately or if you need to keep mixing the color. And now we can finally start painting. As you might have noticed, this painting is known for its countless short brush strokes and thickly applied paint that sets the surface in rolling motion. So this is what we want to recreate. Start with a darker shade of blue and start applying the paint onto the paper or canvas using short brush strokes. Start at the left corner and add one line after another while following the movement of the white outlines we created earlier. You don't want to create seamless lines when you do that. As you can see here, there's lots of space in between each brush stroke. It should look really loose and spontaneous. Below the first third of the painting, we can now use a lighter shade of blue and repeat the steps. Don't think too much when you apply the paint. It's about experimenting with this technique and having fun painting. And you can always go back and reapply the paint and change everything. Once you got the feeling of his way of applying the paint, you can go back and apply another layer of paint to fill more and more of the gaps between the brush strokes. I would recommend to look at the reference photo of this painting so you know where to apply which color. For example, he mixed a lot of darker shades on the top part and a lot of brighter tones around the stars. Just keep adding more and more paint to the surface, one brush stroke at a time. This technique runs through the whole painting. As you might have noticed, even the city below the sky is painted this way. He didn't apply the paint just randomly, he followed the shape and the movement of the objects. Even the hills have these short brush strokes that follow the shape downwards. And the trees looked like flowy swirls. I didn't try to make everything look exactly as on the painting, I just tried to get the overall shape so we can work from here later. Since we already applied most of the paint of the sky, we can now start adding some yellow paint as well. As you can see on his painting, when he applied the yellow paint, he followed the shape of the object as well when he applied the paint using short brush strokes. And this is what you want to do as well. Add one line at a time and mix in some white paint as well to make some areas brighter. From here we can go back and use our blue shades and keep applying more and more paint the same way as in the beginning. Remember, we don't want to just copy the whole painting. The brush strokes and colors don't have to be exactly as on the painting. It's all about learning to use his technique and trying things out. And even if the lines don't look exactly as Van Gogh's, you will still think that this painting reminds you of his style, right? So this is the whole point. I think once you get the overall painting down onto your paper or canvas, you will start noticing what color you should use where. You might want to darken some areas or make some areas even brighter. For the tree, I used some yellow, green, black and brown colored paint and just painted the overall shape first so we can add more texture to it later. And to create the city, I first applied a blue underpainting where I kept some areas lighter that needs to be lighter later. But again, I didn't try to copy every single house in line. You can just focus on the main objects that just stand out and paint the rest really loosely. I also added some color to the city and added some light as well, so it actually looks like a city during the night. And then I went back to fix the painting more and more. I think it's so fun to study different styles of different artists. We always tend to compare each other with others and think we need to paint or draw a certain way, but there are so many different styles and ways how to create art, which makes the art piece so unique. Some artists like to paint hyper-realistically, some others like to paint super abstract and messy. But none of these styles mean that someone is better than the other at painting. They're just different and unique in their own way. So have fun experimenting and trying out new things. Let me know in the comments down below what other artists or paintings I should try to recreate next. I think this will be such a fun series to do, and I believe we can all learn a lot from other artists. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and found it helpful. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and to click on the bell button to get notified whenever I upload a new video on Thursdays and on Saturdays. And if you need more inspiration on what to paint, you can check out my playlist right here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye!